What's going on, everybody? Another pickup vid. I did promise like this extravaganza of stuff, but as we know in the retro gaming collecting biz, shit doesn't always happen as you want it. But before I get into that, which is kind of a long story, which you guys will hear in 2 seconds, let me just show you about other things that has happened before that. First off, a fellow friend of Southwest Florida Gamers, Justin, aka Penguin from Nintendo Age, we ended up partying with him last week. Ended up getting some pretty cool things from him. I'm always looking for video game literature, Nintendo Power Mags, etc. Well, he ended up selling me a top secret passwords for Nintendo. Granted, you can get all this stuff on GameFAQs, but it's always cooler to have it in your hand. It's always good reading material. Another one is a strategy guide from Nintendo Power for Super Mario Bros. 3. And then this kind of, I don't know why, we all had a couple of drinks that night, but I wanted to get this. Don't ask me when I'm going to wear it, but this is a Sonic the Hedgehog headband. And then one thing that is really cool with him, he always has, I don't know how he gets them all the time, but he always has extra, like, pretty much mint boxes. So, and I'm not really into the CIB for Nintendo, the NES, because it's so hard. But I ended up getting, because I'm always looking for AD&D games for NES, I was at least able to finish off, again, everyone hates, but Adventures in Dragons Heroes of the Lance, which is now finished, and Kickle Cubicle. And then another thing I got, which I know a lot of people don't like this as far as a handheld console, but it's kind of cool to get for your collection. I ended up getting the Nomad. All this, if I remember correctly, cost me between $60 and $70. The next was around our pawn shops. I ended up getting in between $5 and $4 a piece. Black Box Popeye Arcade Classics. A game I wanted to actually show you guys before, but I forgot to put it in the video. This is another, I think, must-have. It is extremely fun. It's made by Asmic. I don't know what the company is, but it kind of it's a platformer. It kind of reminds me of the same vein of like a mix of anime with Mega Man with a little classic demon head. I know, not the best example, but a lot of fun, cool power-ups. You got a dog as your companion if you want it, but it is Conquest at the Crystal Palace. And I was actually really surprised about this. I saw Grimsy get in one of his vids, so I'm like, maybe I should pick it up too because I like the original so much. And the second one doesn't fail to live up to the standard. It is Super Spy Hunter. A lot of fun, and it's one of those, they kind of changed it around so you're not going at a frantic speed. You can slow down, speed up, different power-ups. Really good game. The next, I actually met a guy on Craigslist who was selling video games at our local flea masters. I'm hoping to get him into Southwest Florida Gamers. Real cool guy, name of Jason. He's been collecting for about 20 years, and he's been wanting to sell some of his collection. The pictures he showed on Craigslist, he didn't have all the stuff there as far as retro games, but he did have a couple cool things. One thing is still at the other house, but I ended up getting Bubble Bobble, Mario Bros. Arcade Classic, and another game I already put in the trade bin. It is Light Crusader for the Sega Genesis. Really good fun RPG isometric. It would have cost me $18. He was being really cool. He gave it to me for $15. And then the place that I ended up getting all those cool deals, Earthbound and everything, went there just fairly recently and got Superman. 1 second, guys. And almost forgot these two. Biker Mice from Mars and Power Rangers Zeo Battle Racers. This is more or less just kind of like, imagine Mario Kart but with the Power Rangers. But this is actually a really cool game. I've only played about 10 minutes of it. If you like Biker Mice from Mars, I was hoping this was a fighter, but it's more of a racing game. But once again, got those for all three for $12. The next I ended up getting from my buddy Jason, aka Percocet. He wanted Metroid for the NES. I ended up giving him that, and then he also wanted Metroid Prime from the bundle I got today. So I just kind of gave it to him. He ended up giving me a bottle of vodka and giving me Mendel's Palace and a mint copy of Battle Arena Toshinden, not for resale. Thank you very much, Jason. I guess even before I get into the big story, let me give a thank out to a friend of Sulphur Gamers again. It is 8BitsforAll. He was asking me about a couple of games, and I thought he was talking about like if I had games to sell, but he wasn't. He was actually asking if I needed instruction booklets, and he sent them to me free of charge, which is really awesome of him. He ended up giving me Super Punch-Out for the Super Nintendo, Darius Twin, awesome shooter, a game I don't have yet, Super Empire Strikes Back, or excuse me, yeah, Super Empire Strikes Back, and then a game that everybody hates, but I don't think it's too bad, and I'm looking for its sequel, Dragon View. It is Draken. I was actually really excited to read the instruction booklets because if you got the game and didn't really know what was going on, you might be a little clueless. So to make a long story short, today was supposed to be, like I said, a huge thing. There's a place that is close to us in Bonita called Gadgeties. There's only 2 stores in America, one in Columbus, Ohio, one down here. Well, today I was hoping and praying that I was going to be getting 40 Super Nintendo games with instruction booklet and a console and awesome games. Also, Chrono Trigger was in there, Adventures of Batman and Robin, Mega Man X, Sunset Riders. It was on sale today. Also with an N64, which was 60 games with instructions consoles, but I wasn't too interested in that. Me and Jason were joking, saying they open up at 10. We were talking about I said about get there like around 8. He was jokingly saying maybe get there around 6, and I laughed it off. Well, when we got there, guess what? There was a guy there from 5 o'clock in the effing morning waiting for the 64 bundle, and a guy who just got there at 7 for the Super Nintendo bundle. So we lost out. My stupidity, and it was just dumb on my part. I thought being there 2 hours early would be good enough. So people out there, if you know something's coming up and you know what time they open, and if it's an awesome deal, get there 5 hours early. That's all I can say. But the story gets even odder. Jason was so depressed he went home to sleep. I went home fuming, pissed off. I decided to go get a couple things at the store, and I decided to go back there when they opened, like around 10:15, to see about something that was actually being sold later on, which was a Game Boy Color bundle. Well, when I get there, I notice 2 other people standing outside. I mean, another 2 people standing outside. I pull up, the place is closed. I go to the guys, it's kind of a long story, bear with me. I go up there, I ask the guys what's going on, and they're like, the place isn't open yet. This is around 10:15, they're supposed to open up at 10. So I get out of my car, I ask them what they're looking for. The first guy says, well, I'm looking for the Nintendo 64. I'm like, okay, my hopes rise. Other guy says, well, I'm looking for the PS1 Sega Saturn bundle, which I wanted, but that's not till the 29th. So I'm like, oh, this is badass. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Well, the first guy kind of mumbles, says something about the place going out of business. So I'm like, but there's like a person in there. So we're sitting out there waiting, and I go, and they were joking about the two other people that were waiting before, like, oh, some kid was out here since 5, other guy was out there since 7, and they didn't want to wait any longer, so they left. Well, their lack of perseverance screwed them horribly, and our lack of perseverance too, because, but how are we to know? Because first come, first served at that place. Make a long story short, the owner of all the stores came out and said, place is closed, guys, see you later. We're about ready to leave. I'm about ready to get in my car. The guy comes back out, starts talking to the other two guys, so I get out of my car real quick, and I hear him saying, okay, I'll take you guys to no more. Well, I went up to the guy, I'm like, hey, can I please come in with you? The guy lets me in. I'm still thinking about the Super Nintendo bundle. And once again, that's 40 Super Nintendo games, awesome games, all that for 60. Me and Jason were going to go half on it. Well, the guy gets in there for the 64, and since he was the first person there, he decides to get the 64 and the Super Nintendo. The other guy wants the PS1 and the Sega Saturn, but that's not till the 29th, so the guy wouldn't sell them both. Legally, he couldn't. Well, he goes to me and he goes, well, what do you want? And the only thing that was left was a Game Boy Color bundle I wanted and the GameCube bundle. But these weren't until the 25th and 29th. Well, I ran up to where they had stuff. He unlocked the door of the cabinets, and I kind of did a little something, let's put it that way, and I was able to buy the stuff. So the only thing that's there left now is the Sega Saturn, which supposedly might go to Ohio. Hopefully we'll get into my room. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out stuff with the owner. We don't know if there's going to be a going out of business sale, if he's going to send all of it there. We just don't know right now. I tried to make a deal with the Super Nintendo N64 guy, but he didn't want to sell any of it. And he had a shit ton of stuff and really didn't know the prices. But anyways, I'm sorry, long story short, I ended up getting something. Thank God I had a feeling to go back there. So let me show you what I got for the first bundle. Just so everyone knows, I'll show you guys the GameCube bundle first. Just so you guys know, $45. Ended up getting more or less all these games are like complete, even with manuals. I'll say it's like 90 and 10% don't. But anyways, I got Zelda 4 Swords, Super Smash Bros. Melee. I heard GameSack say some good stuff about this series or whatever. Super Monkey Ball 2. Mario Party Tennis, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, Mario Party 7 had 4. Never heard about this game. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Soul Calibur 2, Metroid Prime, which I just gave Jason, Zelda Wind Waker, Lord of the Rings Third Age. I'm actually kind of excited to play this. Game I had, Super Mario Sunshine. Jason told me this was good. Super Mario Strikers. Lemony Snickets, whatever. This looks kind of interesting. WarioWare Inc. Party games? I don't know. And another game I had, Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. And then the one thing that was cool with that, it came with the game. It came with the console. I won't show you guys that, but it came with remote control controllers or whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. And then for the Game Boy Color bundle, there's the Game Boy Color. It also came. This is cool. The hell you want to call this? The rechargeable battery pack and AC adapter. It's all boxed, all nice and neat. I totally forgot they even had these. And then the games, nothing too great. Some kid must have brought it in. It's like Elmo, Toy Story 2. One cool game, Dragon Warrior Monsters 2. Had it, but this is kind of cool. Pokemon Silver. One game I'm actually kind of wondering how it is. Dragonheart for 8-Bit Eric, WWF Raw, True Lies, Tiny Two Adventures Montana, Movie Madness. I guess the crown jewel in that pile would have been Pokemon Crystal version. Also came with the little bag and everything. One thing that I didn't understand what this was, I think I might have grabbed it on accident. If anyone knows what this is, it's like a charger for something. Came like it's one of those Pelican things. I don't know. And it came with the cords. I have no idea what this is for. If anyone knows, once again, it was all this stuff was bagged. Let's think. I guess that's about it. I'm hoping that maybe I'll hear something about the Sega Saturn thing, because if I get that, you guys will. It's crazy what was in there. Nothing boxed, but it was like in a CD case. But the stuff that was in there, I'm like really kicking myself on that. I should have done like a switcheroo. But yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and 8BitsforAll, thank you very much again for the instruction booklets. And hopefully, unfortunately, the best place that I used to get stuff from, it was a long wait, but they sold stuff very cheaply. I mean, Chrono Trigger, everything was like $1 a piece. It's a tear. But anyways, thanks guys for watching. Next video, hopefully, will be even cooler stuff. I gotta start learning how to do all this editing. We're slowly learning, us and Self-Reported Gamers, Premiere and all that. But anyways, thanks for watching. Once again, thanks Jason. Matt, you didn't want the 4 swords, so I'm keeping it. Alright guys, take it easy. Late.